at that point as well?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Just
All right. Get the time. Here we go with the countdown. 5, 4, 3. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't see you there. Welcome. My name is Harry Potter. My Twitch handle is Konception2 though, just in case you were wondering. And I'm a 12-year-old English boy who goes to school at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. And I just came here to share you my story. Obviously, you might be able to tell that I don't have my standard British accent or don't appear to be 12 at all, but that's fine because I know magic and that's the reason. So, we're gonna get started here, and I'll kind of tell you my story piece by piece here. All right. And I can only tell the story in one way, the best way, which is in, pixelated graphics with no voice acting and awesome music. So it's the only way I know how to do it. So we might as well get started. Timer is gonna go in 3, 2, 1, and go. All right, well, unfortunately, I'm trapped in my bedroom. Luckily, I made it out from the cupboard under the stairs, but I'm trapped in my bedroom. My aunt and uncle and cousin all hate me, and they trap me here so I don't go to that wretched, bloody school, as they call it, Hogwarts. But I have this weird creature named Dobby showing up who says, definitely don't go to Hogwarts. But luckily, my best friend, Ron, and his brothers pull up in a flying magic car to come and save us. But it's very important that I grab all my school supplies, so I'm just going to make sure, I grab my briefcase, I'm going to grab my owl, I'm going to grab my Witches and Wizards cards, but only one deck, the Morgan Le Fay deck, which is the only one that matters for us. So that's going to be important later, spoiler alert. While we have this mini cutscene, thank you guys so much for donating to have an incentive to have me on the stream here. I hope you don't mind my getting into my school duds a little early. I'm just excited to get out of my my house there and visit my friend Ron's house, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, though, Ron does like to talk a little bit too much, so we're gonna walk just around him a little bit here so we don't have to hear him talk so much, and that's just a little skip of some dialogue there. Saves about 20 seconds or so. But we have a nice transition here. Music, it's just so beautiful. I hear it in my head every time I walk the halls of Hogwarts. But we're gonna grab a potion.
Do we have time for a donation or?
Oh, we have so much time.
All right, great. I should introduce myself maybe a little bit. Hi, I'm Matt Glitcher. My name is Joe FD Speedrunner, and I'll be taking hosting on from this game up until Fury. I hope I can do Glitcher at least a little bit of pride. So I've got a donation from Jody. Jody gives 15 euros and says, "This is for all those in need that are fighting cancer every day. Thanks for everything you guys are doing." Well, Jody, we're doing it with much love and much pride. Thank you so much for your generous donation. Guys, you guys already know it by this time, but I'm going to say it again. We are supporting the Dutch Cancer Society.
Yes, absolutely. And continue to get those donations in. Very important that we do all we can in order to help those who are in need. And that's what Harry Potter would do, and I think that's what you all should do too. Now we got our friend Ron here, and we got a problem with the garden. There's some gnomes in the garden, and we gotta pluck them out of the holes. That's step 1. And step 2 is we have to throw them over the fence. Now, I'm Harry Potter. I don't get my hands dirty with plucking things out of holes, right? So I'm gonna let Ron tire himself out here because we don't want to waste the lag frames, and the score doesn't matter. So I'm gonna let Ron have this one. He could use a victory. But when he's done plucking his gnomes out of the holes, usually does around 10. Maybe he can get the 11 in this one. Wow, look at him go. Oh, 12? Wow, let's go, Ron. That's my best friend. But now we get the fun part of throwing him over the fence. Now, this can last any amount of time as long as Ron decides to throw. But we're going to throw the same throw every time, which is fastball special into the fence, because we're trying to save frames. What are frames, you ask? They're invisible metal, magical forces that are around us. And we want to save them because life goes faster that way. Unfortunately, what I did, though, was a little bit too fast, and I hit a 5-frame window that the gnome friend there scoots right through the fence instead of hitting it. So that wastes a little time, but nothing we can't recover. But yes, basically we want Ron to, in terms of speed, throw it at the fence or not, or before the fence in order to get the optimal speed for us. The pro of me throwing it through the fence there is that I just smoked Ron in the gnome throwing contest, so don't get to win those very often. But I'm Harry Potter, I win every contest. Anyways, we're gonna get ready. It's time to go to Diagon Alley, time to get some new duds, time to get some school supplies. I don't think anything else is gonna happen. So we're just gonna go over to our fireplace here, and Ron has always been telling me about this thing called flue powder that enables us to travel through fireplaces, which we can't do that in Little Whinging, but we can do it here. So we're gonna do that, and I'm just gonna say Diagon Alley, and then hopefully it works the way I want it to. But it doesn't seem to have worked out too well. This place seems shady. And who's that? Who are those blondes? Oh, that's got to be my nemesis Draco, and I don't know who that taller blonde is, but they got to be related. But anyway, allow me to take a second here to talk about some good tech that we use in order to save a little bit of time. The first one is called Select Glitch, and that is when I glitch the society around me as we transition in order to skip some cutscenes. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get it there, so we have a backup, which is to pause right there, but we head to the cutscene anyway. Wastes about 8 to 10 seconds. I love Hagrid, but sometimes he's a little long-winded, so I try to skip around talking to him. But that's alright. We have to. All this cutscene has to happen anyway. And that's my friend Ron and his beautiful family. We're gonna go into our vaults and get some money, so we have enough money to buy the school supplies we need. So first we're gonna make a little pit stop here. I know they keep a little extra money in that little side drawer, so I'm gonna grab that because that's gonna be useful for us later. Now you might ask, I'm Harry Potter, I'm rich, why do I need to grab money from random drawers? I don't want to spend my own money. I mean, I gotta keep that vault full, you know?
You know, as they say, you don't get rich by spending money.
Yeah, you get rich by saving money, that's right. So we get some extra sickles there, and we're also gonna grab an extra potion there, which is an antidote. That'll be important if we get poisoned by chance. And then we're actually gonna grab a little bit of an extra help here, which is a healing potion in case we get hurt a little bit. But already coming up is our first boss fight of the game, so we're gonna save just in case. And this is called the Footman, the protector of the vaults here. So what we're gonna do is Ron is gonna do all the legwork, because again, I'm Harry Potter, I don't want to get my hands dirty. Ron's gonna cast a spell, and I'm gonna use the flee option. And then if I press A, on frames in between our turns, after I use the flee option, I can skip the Footman's turn altogether and avoid taking damage whatsoever. So what we're gonna do is Ron's gonna continue to do the damage, Harry's gonna continue to do the fleeing. Now Ron doesn't have enough magic, so we're gonna give him some extra magic on this turn. We're gonna hit him with more spells until he goes down eventually, and he's not gonna touch us, hopefully. Now occasionally Ron can do a little extra damage, and we like to call that a critical hit. Those numbers will pop up in orange. What are those numbers? They pop up magically whenever you cast a spell naturally in this world. So it's best not to worry about it too much, it just shows you how much damage you've done. And then we're going to continue to keep pressing this A button in between frames in order to skip the Footman's turn. And actually on this turn, Ron's going to cast the spell, and we're going to actually finish it off with Harry coming in for the killing blow, as usual, taking all the glory. Ooh, actually we didn't do quite enough damage, so we're actually going to take a hit here. That's quite alright. We're actually going to use the revive potion from earlier. Now, we have these things in our world called revive potions, and if you've played a similar game called Pokemon, it's similar to that. If you have somebody who has fallen in battle, you can use a revive potion in order to bring them back up. The good thing in our world is when you use a revive potion, it completely heals them and their magic. So we luck out that way. But we get by our little boss friend, and we get some of this money. Kind of insensitive for me to take my less fortunate friend into my rich vault, but he seems not to mind that much. So we're gonna continue forward. Our friend Griphook, who is managing here, has wandered off, so we got to find our own way back, which is not too difficult considering we already did this once on our own. We're just gonna walk all the way back, and you'll see these blue little clouds pop up here. And those are encounters. We don't want to fight them. They're very slow. So occasionally you might see me get ready to walk right into one, and then I'm going to go into my menu and back out. And that enables us to reset the location of those encounters so that they're not in our way anymore. Occasionally that'll fail, and we'll still hit the encounter anyway, but it's still a lot safer than the alternative. But we got our money. Now it's time to go over to the bookstore, where we need our second year books, of course, but I hear there's some kind of new charming person signing books. I'm not sure who they are, but we're gonna go check it out. First things first, we gotta get our stuff. We're gonna go check it out. And then behold, in just a second, this nightmare of a sprite coming down. And that's none other than Gilderoy Lockhart. He looks like a skeleton with skin on in this game, but he seems like a pretty good guy. He's done a lot. He's killed a lot of, like, you know, very bad creatures that have been torturing towns and stuff like that. He's written all these books about him, so he's got to be an alright individual. But we meet him, you know, big whoop. Let's leave. Our nemesis. Oh, Malfoys, they like to bully the poor, and poor Jenny, it's her first year at Hogwarts, and she just has to deal with this while she's buying her first year books. It's just kind of brutal. But it's time to move on. You might have noticed outside of the bookstore there, I made a pit stop in a little stack of crates, and I picked up a card combo there. Now, if you remember at the beginning of our story, I picked a specific deck of cards, Morgan Le Fay. And what cards do, and card combos in this game, is card combos are things that we can use in battle that achieve certain effects. We are going to use one card combo, maybe two, in the run, but we're not going to use them until the very last fight that we do. You'll see why in a little bit. But that card combo is going to be very, very important for a later encounter that we're going to have to deal with. But for now, we have not been permitted to get into platform 9 3/4. And as you can see, that's our friend Dobby who's caused that. So we got to take the flying car over to Hogwarts. Now, I believe in the States, you folks might call this an auto-scroller, I think. I mean, we know scroll is this thing that have spells on them, but I think this is called an auto-scroller. And this segment is unfortunately very long. It's about 2 minutes. And you can see that we're racking up points in there, and you might wonder, hey, maybe we should rack up some more points to get this to go a little bit faster. Unfortunately, no matter the score, or no matter how much you try to move around the screen, nothing will make this go faster. So I like to use it as a little bit of a break to stretch out the old hands, check on the wand, you know, make sure it's good, make sure it's still functioning, and, you know, nice and polished. Which mine's pretty good. I am Harry Potter. I got money to do that, so it's pretty good. Basically how this would work if you wanted to play, and of course we could play if we wanted to. We can move around the car and hit these coins and cloud things. It just racks up our points and makes us go a little bit farther on the screen. But like I said, you can't go past the train, and no matter at what point that you're at the train here, the train will have to dock before anything happens. So it's pretty much set in stone as to how long this is going to take. And you can move around, you can have a good time. You know, a lot of people frown on 12-year-olds driving, but I don't really see why. I don't think there's really any problem with it. Like, I can't foresee us having any issues with flying and driving. No accidents. I mean, we're magicians. We're wizards. What's gonna happen?
I mean,
Nothing. Nothing's gonna
I mean,
happen.
you're flying through the sky. It's not like you're gonna hit another flying car or something.
Yeah, no traffic, but unfortunately, trees come to life are what are gonna stop us, and now we're gonna have to walk down from the branches here into our next boss fight, which is against a tree called the Whomping Willow. Now, unfortunately, at this point in the story, due to the crash that we just experienced, Ron has a malfunction with his wand. It's broken and he can't use it exactly like he wants to anymore. And that will cause Ron's wand to backfire, so occasionally when he goes to cast a spell, it will hit him instead of its intended target. And I just wanted to put that out there that as me, the generous Harry Potter, is going to be doing, is for every time that Ron's wand backfires, I will be donating 10 sickles for each time it backfires.
Could you translate those sickles to currency that we muggles can understand?
I think it's almost a direct transfer, so it's 10 sickles equals about 10 of your United States dollars, I think. So per backfire, and that is going to have a minimum of 20 galleons or United States dollars for you. So no, oh, there's one. There is one. So there's one backfire. There's 10 galleons, and a minimum of 20. Poor Ronald. He did not survive the encounter, but it is okay, for I, Harry Potter, am here to save him. Alright, and we make it out alive. Now, if you have been along for one of my previous journeys, you know, my first year of school, where I had to deal with the Philosopher's Stone, you might have seen that I had to pretty much take on everything myself. And one good thing is that in year 2, Ron and Hermione really step up. They get to be a part of our party. But Ron sometimes hurts our chances a little bit. And it's not his fault, of course. His wand doesn't work properly, but he is there for us, and that's what really counts. Unfortunately, this Snape guy, geez, what a jerk, he's quite mad at us, saying all these muggles saw us flying over and that we should be expelled, but luckily McGonagall and Dumbledore have our backs because we're the teacher's favorites. And I don't really have a problem saying that. I'm Harry Potter. We're gonna go ahead and grab an extra potion, because we did have to use one in that Whomping Willow fight. He kind of whacked me hard on the head there, but time to go up to our common room, which you know, we're Gryffindors, so top floor, you know, loft status. So there are usually some shortcuts that we can take, but everyone that's ever been to Hogwarts knows that on the first night those shortcuts are not available. So we just have to make the long trek up, walking up all these stairs. Right now we're on the 4th floor, then we gotta go to the 5th floor, and then the 6th floor, and then finally we're on the 7th and the top floor. But you know what? I kind of feel like making a pit stop. Let's go see Fred and or George and buy some supplies, shall we? So we're gonna buy 2 each of the potions of healing and for magic, and we're also gonna buy a skull cap and oven mitts. 1, because I think it would look funny, and 2, because they're gonna give us a little bit extra defense there. It's gonna bolster our spell power, and it's gonna bolster our ability to take a couple extra hits that we might normally not be able to handle. Luckily, our good friend Hermione comes to bail us out with the password. I really don't know what we would do without her. But I'm pretty tired. You know, I don't know about you guys. It's pretty late, so I think I'm gonna go to sleep. Get a nice night of sleep in order to start some classes tomorrow. The first of which, you know, second year is pretty classic. The first class that we're gonna do is herbology, and it's a pretty interesting class from what I could tell. I've heard some things about second years getting to do some interesting things with some weird plants, but most importantly, we can take our shortcuts now. So we're gonna go just up here to this statue, and this statue takes us to the 6th floor all the way to the dungeon, which is below the ground floor. Now, the only thing that's unfortunate about the dungeon is that sometimes we can get hit by encounters there, you know, get attacked by little rats or bats and things like that, but luckily we got a little bit, you know, ease there. I'm gonna take this potion from the garden just to make sure everything goes well. And we're gonna enjoy class, and I like to stand on my chairs personally when I'm in class. Now I'll sit, you know, yeah, I'll sit. You guys are here, I'll sit. Professor Sprout likes to glide sideways off of the out of visual range there. He's always been weird like that. But we're getting to work with these mandrakes, crazy little plant baby things. But they ran away, so we got to go into the garden. And unfortunately, no one else wants to help me for this one, so I'm on my own. And I'm going to have to take care of these 3 mandrakes and get them back planted. Now, they're kind of annoying to fight. They take about 5 hits, provided that we don't miss anything. And they also do a decent amount of damage. We do hope to see that they miss once in a while there, like this one did. Because if we get 1 miss, we can prevent ourselves from having to heal during the fight. Now, with a lot of these stories, aka turn-based RPGs, when you level up naturally, you'll get your health and your magic power back. So we have to fight the first 2 mandrakes without leveling up and increasing our skills, but after the second one, we will get that nice level up that we're looking for. And luckily that was a pretty good fight, no misses or anything like that. We took care of the first one. Now where is that second mandrake? I think it's over in this top corner. Wow, I was right, look at that. Alright, let's heal up for this fight just to be safe. Oops. And we're gonna heal our magic too. Because we do not want to go in with, you know, low health there. I'm Harry Potter, I can't be losing to babies. Alright, so this is basically just a repeat of the fight we already did. Like I said, we have to do this 3 times. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for having me on your platform here on Twitch, on the BSG Marathon and ESA Marathon, for allowing me to share my stories with you. And especially thank you for those who have donated, especially to see little old me, Harry Potter, and all these other amazing bid wars and incentives that we have going on for the rest of the marathon. I hope you stick around and get those checked out. We have gotten very good RNG, which stands for, I don't know, special magic, and we don't have to do too much extra there. No extra healing, and we since leveled up, so we just have to fight this annoying turtle crab thing. That miss is actually very bad, in terms of us having to heal our magic. So we are going to have to take an extra potion here.
Mr. Potter,
you might notice...
I do have a small question,
yes,
if you don't mind.
Please, please.
Behind you there are some portraits on the walls. Why aren't they moving?
Well, I'm kind of ashamed to say it, but I'm not in a magical household at the moment. I am unfortunately in a muggle household, and for some odd reason, their portraits don't move. I don't really know why they never adopted the moving portrait thing, but they should have.
I think that's I think that had something to do with a statue of secrecy or something along those lines.
Yeah, well, Statue of Secrecy kind of went out the window when I told you I'm Harry Potter and I'm a wizard in front of all you muggles, but just don't tell anybody. I'll try not to cast any spells.
It will be our little secret, and if you do a spell, could you make like a household pet like float? Could you make that happen?
I might be able to make something float, but see, I can't use my wand. That's kind of how they track me, so I'm gonna have to be able to make something else float.
You're Harry Potter, you know. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm Harry Potter. I can make things float without a wand. Yeah, I definitely have done that before. You know, I see one of these. Looks like a cellular device of some sort. that you muggles like to use. We just, you know, cast spells and teleport to the people we want to talk to, but I can imagine that this is a very handy thing, and when I have a free second here, I'm gonna make that float for you.
All right, great. Thank you. Yeah, the cellular device I can explain to you. They are faster
Please.
than owls. Why are you still using owls?
I'm sorry, nothing's faster than owls. What do you mean?
How long?
Faster than owls?
How long does it take for an owl to, let's say, fly across the country, across Britain, like the short side, like east to west?
Oh, a quick 3 days. Like that's it. 3 days. 3 days.
Yeah,
Unless you have Owl Prime, of course, then it takes 2 days.
So Amazon is investing in your world as well.
Yeah, you can't escape Amazon. I almost went down the stairs like a normal person, but I'm gonna take shortcuts because that's more fun. And I heard that I have this friend Katie over here who's sick in the hospital, and I'm gonna visit her because I'm Harry Potter and I'm a helpful individual. And that's just gonna start us off on a little quest. She's looking for her storybook to help her feel a little bit better, and we're gonna get that to her by the end of the game in order to get a special little reward. But I'm not gonna spoil that for you just yet. But for now, we're heading to our second class, which is Defense Against the Dark Arts with this Lockhart person who seems like he's pretty cool. I mean, he's definitely well dressed, and he does look like a skeleton though, so it's a little bit confusing if I'm supposed to like him or not. But we'll make it work. He just let off these pixies in our class, and he's just like, yeah, you folks got this, right? And there's these pixies floating around, and you know, I'm Harry Potter. I don't like to get don't hand me things. I don't want to do anything. So I'm gonna use this time. Yeah, I think this is one of the cellular devices that you made float. All right, so I'm going to cast. You know, use my hands. I'm just gonna think really hard.
All right, yeah, there's a bit of delay between what I can see and what you do. All right. Let's see. Oh my. Oh, you really are a wizard.
Yeah,
a wizard,
I don't need a. I'm a what? No, I know that was last time. That was last time.
Your unit for Harry.
That's unfortunately more realistic. But yeah, who needs wands? Who needs wands? Not Harry Potter. Definitely no tricks there. So now another thing about the legendary Harry Potter is he's great at Quidditch. I'm great at Quidditch. I don't talk in the third person. I'm great at Quidditch. So we're gonna go flaunt our Quidditch skills on the pitch over here. And we're gonna play Quidditch quite a few times in the story, and you might think, yeah, we'll play each of the houses or something like that, but I don't like Draco Malfoy. I don't know if I've made that clear, and I'm gonna do my best to beat him every time, so we're just gonna play Slytherin every time. And there's nothing Draco Malfoy can do about it, because I'm gonna beat him. So here's our Quidditch. Let's get the snitch here. Let's see, where is it? There it is, down there. Look at that, Harry Potter. Am I right? Harry Potter. Fastest Quidditch game you've ever seen. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I don't like Draco Malfoy, and my friend Ron's wand backfires as he calls my friend Hermione a very insensitive word in the wizard community. And due to that backfire, we're up to 20 galleons now that I have to donate for that backfire. Even though I knew that one was coming. So 20 galleons. We'll see if Ron can hold it together by the end of our story. But right now he's barfing up slugs, and that's not a good look. I can't have my friend barfing up slugs. I'm Harry Potter. I have an image to maintain. So we're gonna take him over to my good friend Hagrid, who definitely knows what to do when things like this happen. Now, our good friend Hagrid here, as generous as he is, he says, you know, I know just the thing. I need 5 ingredients from my garden. if you'd be so kind to gather those ingredients, and I'll whip up something for Ron here in order to get fixed and all better here. And luckily Hermione is great and she's going to join us, but I'm going to make a quick pit stop over in this bookcase here and grab one of those revive potions just in case things end up going a little bit south. But here we are, we're going to go over here into Hagrid's garden. We're going to gather all those ingredients as fast as we can. So conveniently they're located in these little holes, so we know where they are mostly. Now there are a couple of decoy holes that don't have anything in them, but I'm Harry Potter and I have a good sense of these things. So I'm going to grab the ones that I know have the ingredients we need. That's 2 of them if you're counting at home. 3. I don't blame you for not counting at home. Arithmancy was not one of my favorite subjects in Hogwarts as well. And the 4th ingredient lies in this boss fight with the Venomous Tentacula. Now, we're going to use that enemy attack skip function again, where we just press A after fleeing in order to skip their turn. But unfortunately, the Venomous Tentacula stunned Harry first turn, so we're going to have to keep doing this without attacking with Hermione on their own until Harry is able to cast spells again, which he is now. Good. So, again, don't want my hands dirty. I'm going to let Hermione take care of this, and then Harry is going to, I am going to flee. I'm Harry. I'm going to flee. And of course, you fight plants with fire. Everyone knows that. And Hermione is out of magic, so we're gonna let her get recouped a little bit. And she's gonna cast that fire spell. And you know what? Fine, I'll get involved too, and I'll cast my own fire spell. Cleaning up, Harry saves the day again. It's just great. And there's our 4th ingredient. If you're counting at home, we still do need one more. But I think I know where it is, and it's on the way out. Now, I'm going to show you one of my signature moves. It doesn't do anything for saving time, but it looks rad. And that's called the swag. No moving. It's like moonwalking across the grass there. I know that looked cool. I'm Harry Potter. Everything I do is cool. But I got all the ingredients for my friend Ron here, and he's still barfing up some slugs, but that's not going to be for much longer now. Ron's good as new besides his wand, and it's time for us to continue on with our day, you know? Now, I'm a little bit exhausted from these classes, so I think it's time to go back up to the tower here and get some shut-eye, you know? I got another Quidditch game tomorrow. Things are tiresome when you're a celebrity, 12-year-old, and it's time for me to get my shut-eye. So let's head back in the castle. And uninterrupted. Oh man, you know what? I forgot. Ron and I got detention for that silly car issue, and I have to do my detention with Professor Lockhart, which last time I talked to him, he left me with the Pixies. So we're not on good terms, Lockhart and I. But you know, you got to do what you got to do, and Harry Potter, follow the rules. That's what everyone knows me for. I follow the rules. I get stuff done. So we're gonna go talk to Lockhart here and get on with our detention, which he's just gonna have me sign his fan mail, which is kind of strange, but I signed my own fan mail. I don't know why I have to sign his.
I was about to ask. Yeah, doesn't Harry Potter have someone to write his fan mail? I mean, you are Harry Potter.
I am Harry Potter, but first and foremost, I like to stay humble. You guys know me, so I sign my own fan mail. You know, it's mostly from Ron, but you know, you just got to make him happy. You just got to make him happy. So we stay up all night signing this fan mail for Lockhart, and we hear some funny noises, but we're gonna ignore it. I don't think it's anything. And we're gonna try that fancy little select glitch here, which is where we press the select button on a transition, but we didn't quite get it, so we're gonna move one tile over to the right. And we would be, at this point, having a conversation with Nearly Headless Nick, the Gryffindor house ghost, inviting us to his death day party. And if you're unfamiliar with what Death Day is, it's like birthday, but for the day that you died instead of the day that you were born. But if we use our select glitch, or we move one tile to the right as soon as we walk onto the stairs, then we can skip his conversation altogether. So that's what we did, and it's time for some more Quidditch. Ooh, almost got it on the first try. Oop. There we go. Fastest Quidditch game you've ever seen. Now, because I'm Harry Potter and I know how this story is going to go, I know we're meant to have a conversation with Ron and Hermione coming up here soon, but I'm going to try out our fancy little select glitch again and see if we can get it. Now, the select glitch is something that's a little bit new to our story. We didn't know about it in terms of telling this story up until probably about a month or two ago, and we found that when we're doing this select glitch, we can skip a lot of cutscenes because it puts the game into a state that it's not prepared to read encounters or NPCs. So we end up walking right by a lot of cutscenes if we can get it. But unfortunately we didn't, so you're going to get to see the mini cutscene anyway. They're my good friends Ron and Hermione, and I don't know why I would want to skip talking to them anyway. They're my best friends, so... Now we're gonna head on over to that aforementioned Death Day party, and I heard it could be a wild time. It's just out inside the dungeons, and here we are. Naturally, it has a skull on the door, and naturally, everyone here is ghosts besides us. Now we're gonna socialize. The food's nasty, so we don't really want to eat that. We're gonna just look like we're want to be here. Naturally, we're invited because I'm Harry Potter and I'm famous. So whenever I'm at a party, things tend to liven up a little bit. Plus, Nearly Headless Nick wants to make a good impression, so that he can get into the Headless Hunt this year. But this party is about to liven up a lot because we got another game to play, and this one we actually do have to play because we can't progress without it. And I think in the States you have this game called bowling, or in everyone knows of a game called bowling, right? Well, we do that bowling as well, but we do it with skulls, and I think they're ghost skulls, but I can't be sure. And we knock down some pins that are in the shape of skulls and bones in hopes that we can get strikes. Of course, the more strikes we get, the faster this is going to go. So we're going to hope for strikes, but it's very difficult to predict if you're going to get a strike or not. We try our best to hit just outside of that front pin in order to knock down the most pins and hopefully all of them, but it is very difficult. So, and of course when we get to the 10th frame, which is the last frame, if we were to get strikes on that 10th frame, we would actually get an extra frame, and I hear we like to save the frames in this one, so we don't want that extra frame. We wanna not do it. So when we get to our last frame, we're gonna actively try not to hit a strike because, we don't want to showboat. Luckily, not hitting strikes has been my specialty thus far.
Since you're Harry Potter and you do have great magical powers and are probably the greatest wizard of all time that's ever lived and will ever live, can't you just cheat with magic?
Well, I could. I have that power. I have that ability. You all know me. I'm Harry Potter. I could. But, it's about staying humble, and it's about not being, a complete showboat. This is Nick's day, not my day. So I'm not here to make waves. I'm just here to be a pretty face in this instance. But we're on our last frame here, and I'm just gonna avoid hitting down those pins on purpose. And moving on. Now there's a next little part here which we like to skip. It's called Voices Skip, and I'm just gonna need a bit of quiet in order for me to focus on this for 1 second. I'm gonna move up here and then save because we can have an issue. And we got it first try. Very good. So, I'll tell you a little bit about what I just did there. So, at this point, I usually am hearing voices. Am I proud of it? No, but they are there. And if I press a certain button sequence there, which is mainly pause, and then A, and then B, and then pause, and I do it fast enough, I can do a thing where I skip all of these cutscenes of me hearing voices as I walk up the stairs. It saves about 30 seconds if I can get it, and we have to deactivate it here, or else we will not be able to trigger this little cutscene in our story. The reason why I save right before I do that is because if I don't press the buttons fast enough, but I press the pause on the exact frame that I was supposed to, I can soft lock the game, and we don't want that. So I didn't want to have to cut our story short, but we got it first try anyway, so I couldn't be happier. Unfortunately, there's a message on the wall about enemies of the air, beware. The air, you know, being somebody who's in the Chamber of Secrets, the heir of Slytherin. And Mrs. Norris, who is Filch's cat, was up there. Luckily not dead, just petrified, thankfully. But they all thought we did it for a second, which I thought was kind of uncool. Of course we didn't do it. You guys saw I was, you know, Quidditching and Death Daying and all this. It wasn't me. So luckily they believe us, and we just go on with our day. And we have another day of class here. This one being in History of Magic. Now, History of Magic is a boring class, and to skip ahead a little bit, all Professor Benz here is going to have me do is go to the library to get a book and then come back. And it's just boring. It's not fun. But, you know, when a teacher tells me to do something, I do it because I'm Harry Potter and I follow the rules. I am going to take shortcuts to do it, though, because I didn't say I couldn't do that. So I am going to take a shortcut from the 4th floor to the 1st floor there. And, of course, the library, as you all know, is on the 2nd floor. So we're going to go over here to the library, talk to Madam Pince, eventually, and get the book that we need for History of Magic, which is, the book is called, I believe, Hogwarts of History? Yes, Hogwarts of History. Couldn't remember, but that's what it's called. I'm not a book guy. I'm Harry Potter. So, we're gonna go get this book. Luckily, no encounters are hitting us on our way, and then we're just gonna head right back to History of Magic. Now, I heard rumor from one of the Weasley twins that there's a special little prize in Professor Binns' globe. So before I talk to him and continue on with the class, I'm gonna just very obviously go over to his globe, and what do you know? There's a Witches and Wizards card there. And I think that is going to be important for one of those legendary card combos that I was telling you about that we'll use later on. Well, Professor Binns, he falls asleep. He does that. He's a ghost. He's boring. So it's time to move on. And you know what? We gotta check out that wall again. We gotta get a better look. We gotta figure out what's going on, because I'm Harry Potter and I'm here to save the day. And we're gonna go take a look at it right up here. But we're also gonna notice that, weirdly, there are spiders coming out of this nearby bathroom, which is very strange. Hermione lets us know that this is a women's bathroom that is not in use, really, so it's cool if we go in it. And we're gonna go meet one of my friends, which is Moaning Myrtle.
I remember the last time you went into the girls' bathroom, you found a troll there, and I'm being literal right here.
And do you remember what happened in that bathroom? I was a hero. That's right.
Well, I do remember Ron knocking out the troll, but since you're Harry Potter, you're probably the hero of this.
Well, Ron knocks out the troll. Yes, he knocks out the troll using Wingardium Leviosa, and would he be able to do that spell if it wasn't for me? Maybe, but I was there too, so it's important.
Yes, you were there too. Definitely were there.
Definitely were there. Definitely were there. So Moaning Myrtle is very easily, hurt and offended, and we're gonna do our best to cheer her up a little bit. And who are we gonna talk to? Our friend Hagrid, who knows about ghosts, and who's gonna tell us what we can do to get Moaning Myrtle to talk to us and cheer up a little bit. Our friend Hagrid here is gonna tell us that ghosts love lilies, the flower, and we're gonna go get a lily. And Hagrid gives us a lead as to where I can get a lily, which is in Professor McGonagall's office. So we're very simply just going to go into the office and take one. I don't think McGonagall will know. And if she knows, I'll just say it was me who did it, Harry Potter, and then she'll be like, oh, wow, 5 points for Gryffindor. I like your initiative. Alright, so McGonagall's office is on the first floor here. And what do you know, there's a little lily on her desk, but I think there's something extra here, which is another antidote for, in case we get harmed later, but we do get the lily as well. And we move on ahead to give the flower to Moaning Myrtle. And as thanks, Moaning Myrtle gives us a very cool spell that's going to be useful for 2 of our fights called Mucus Ad Nauseam. And Mucus Ad Nauseam is a spell that we cast when we want to poison others. Poisoning works as a spell that does damage every turn as opposed to just a certain amount of damage on a turn. That's going to be very important for some key boss fights later on. Alright, so we gotta figure out what we're doing here. So we know about Moaning Myrtle. We know that there are spiders coming from the bathroom. We know that somebody has opened the Chamber of Secrets. And we know that that person is the heir of Slytherin. And naturally, that's Draco Malfoy. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but I don't like Draco. I know it's a little unusual, and I'm pretty sure I haven't mentioned it before, but I don't like him. So we're gonna start scheming some ways in order to figure out if Draco is really the person that could have done this. Is Draco the heir of Slytherin? And we come up with the idea to brew a potion called the Polyjuice Potion, I think is what Hermione calls it. And we don't know the recipe though, that's the thing. We have to go and get the book from the library that gives us the recipe. But Hermione, she knows all about books, and she knows that that book is in the restricted section. And how are we going to get in the restricted section? Invisibility cloak, right? No, we can't do that. Hermione doesn't allow it. And I don't break rules. I don't break rules. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to suck up to a teacher, because that's better. And we're going to talk to Lockhart, who's going to give us a permission slip. Yeah, a permission slip. Very important, very cool, and very heroic. And because Lockhart loves me like everybody loves me, we get the permission slip, no problem. And we're going to go in the library, which we're on floor 3, and the library is actually 2 floors, so we can actually enter the library on the 3rd floor from the top, and then go down and talk to Madam Pince again, saying we have permission to enter the restricted section to get a book, and she's like, that's cool, go do that, and we're going to get that book. Now that's all boring. You know, I'm Harry Potter, I don't love books. I don't brew potions. What I do is I play Quidditch. So we're gonna do another round of Quidditch, and it's gonna be the best one yet. And we're gonna face Slytherin again, because you know what's weird, I don't really like Draco, so no, I don't like Draco Malfoy. He's not very cool. So we're gonna beat him again. Hopefully. But who am I kidding? I'm Harry Potter. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. But we just make our way back down to the Quidditch pitch for our match here. Now you notice sometimes too that when we get outside, the critters like to attack us. After our last Quidditch match, I actually got attacked by a chicken. Not one of my proudest moments, but we make do. And you might be noticing that, yeah, I'm kind of walking a little strange. I'm walking on a diagonal, which is not usually how people walk, but it's how I walk when I want to walk fastest. Because walking diagonally is faster than walking straight lines. Now, spoiler alert, this match of Quidditch is very special because we have a very painful bludger that pretty much just beats on us the whole time. And wants us to not get the snitch. And it can actually wear us out just like that. Wears our little like health bar down to the point that we can lose this match. Hopefully we don't. And we didn't. I still win. It doesn't matter if I win or lose. The progress is the same. But I'm Harry Potter, so I win. But yeah, there's this rogue bludger that's just beating me over the head, and to the point where I get lifted up and I fall from the graces after I win the match, of course. I fall from the graces. and my arm is broken, and I'm all beaten up by this rogue bludger. I don't know why somebody would set a bludger on me. It's kind of rude. But, ooh. Yeah, Lockhart tries to fix my broken arm, and it turns into rubber. So, not much of a fix there. So we gotta go to the,
your arm isn't broken anymore. That's a good thing.
Oh, yeah. Madame Pomfrey fixes you right up. You know, she doesn't love having to grow bones back, so she wished I'd talked to her first. But, it's painful, but I do got my bones. Look, no rubber. Little flowy, but that's just the robe. So I can still cast spells and play Quidditch and all that. Our friend Dobby here, who did not want us to come to this school, has tried everything, tried to keep us locked in our room, tried to keep us locked out of platform 9 3/4, and now has tried to hit us with bludgers in order for us to go away. Was the person obviously who caused the bludger. So we figured that out, but also another one of our friends, Colin Creevy, has come back paralyzed with his camera in his hand. That's kind of dreadful, but you know, we're still not too worried about it. We're trying to figure out who's in this Chamber of Secrets, who's causing all these people to get petrified and all that. We're working on it. We realize that some of these ingredients that we need for the Polyjuice Potion, they're a little hard to come by, especially for a 12-year-old. I mean, I am Harry Potter, but I can only go so far. So what we're gonna do is we have potions class right now, but you know, I said I'd like to follow the rules, but you know, when it comes to saving the day, sometimes you can't follow the rules. You gotta save the people. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play a little prank on old Snape here, old Crooked Nose, if you will. And we're gonna set off a distraction so that we can enter his secret potion wares and get some of the ingredients that we need for this Polyjuice Potion. So we set off this little spark, and we would probably only need to pop in and out, right? His room can't be that big, so... Oh, look, there's a shelf here. And we just gotta find another shelf that has the ingredient we're looking for. And it can't be that far away. Just... Oh, well, these are kind of... These are really long hallways with nothing. You would think, at least if you have a room like this, that there would be, you know, potions or ingredients lining the walls, but... I guess Snape is into really long, really thin hallways with nothing on them. I don't really know why. But, there it is. There's the last crate. There we go. There's the last little shelf that we can get our Boomslang skin from. Now, we've been gone a long time. Hopefully that spell is still going off, because that would be really embarrassing if we set off that distraction and Snape is still... You know, he's sitting there like, where did my students go? That'd be weird, you know? Luckily, we've been doing a pretty good job of avoiding these encounters. We just had that random chicken fight us, but, you know, not too bad otherwise. Alright, cool. Whew, just in time. It just ended. We're good. Whew. Safe. But, Snape was a little suspicious of me. You know what? And I'm gonna tell you, he's right to be suspicious of me. I'm suspicious of him, but he's right to be suspicious of me. But he tells us about this cool thing called Dueling Club, and he's like, yeah, come on by. We'll teach you how to cast some spells to defend yourself. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna go to the Dueling Club right now. And I heard it should be a good time. The only thing that could really ruin it is if Draco Malfoy shows up. Not really. I don't really like him much. I don't know if I said that, but yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Hopefully he's not there. I'm gonna just hop up on this table. Oh, jeez. All right. Now, I'm a humble person, and I'm all about getting this done fast. So I could completely destroy Malfoy right now. Let's just get that out in the open. I could destroy him. But I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time. So it's a little bit faster if I just keep trying to flee, which I can't, and then just take a couple of hits from Malfoy here in order to lose on purpose. Now, again, if I were trying for real, I would have smoked that guy. But, you know, this is for charity. For charity.
It's nice that you're giving Draco a moment in the spotlight as well. It's really humble of you. as humble as the Harry Potter is, you know.
Yeah, I am very humble. I don't like Draco though, so I didn't like that he got that shining moment. I don't know if I mentioned that before. We don't really get along, but you know, this is for charity. You know, we want to go fast. We want to go fast. And unfortunately, a friend of ours, Justin from Hufflepuff House, thinks that we set that snake on him on purpose, which of course we didn't. That would be ridiculous. But he's offended. We're gonna go chase him down and as fast as we can and explain, hey, we didn't do this. Which, when you chase somebody, in general, it's not really a good look. You know, we're just chasing after him and we're just like, stop, but they won't stop. So we're just gonna keep chasing. And I'll catch him eventually. Like, you know, I walk, I don't run. I don't like to sweat, you know. And, oh jeez. Oh gosh, not again. Not again. Oh, and we got a twofer. Justin's paralyzed. Nick's dead? I thought he was a ghost. Surely he can't die again. But oh boy, now we got witnesses. They think I did this. This is a mess. This is an absolute mess. You know, you people in the chat, tell them I didn't do this. Like, you guys saw that I didn't do this. You gotta tell them. I'm getting sent to Dumbledore's office right now. Like, getting sent to, I think it's called a principal's office or headmaster's office, right? I didn't do this. I didn't do this. Tell them I didn't do it. Luckily, it's a very dangerous way up to the Dumbledore's office here, but luckily I can avoid these encounters. And, oh wow, he's got a cool looking bird. I wonder what that bird is. Pretty cool. Oh my god. Ooh. That bird just died. In front of me. But Dumbledore's cool about it? And there's a baby bird in the ashes? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Like, come on. That can't be real, right? Weird stuff. But Dumbledore believes me.
Dumbledore also seems a bit blue, but that could be me. Seems a bit
He does, yeah. He seems a bit down, you know, bit sullen, bit sunken in the eyes, in the pixelated eyes, of course.
The nice 2002 eyes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this was from 2002, but no. I'm still 12. So. I was 12 in 2002, and I'm 12 now.
Then you might get,
Because of magic.
if you're still 12, like 18 years later, you might very well get along with this guy I know. His name is Ash Ketchum. He's been 10 for about 20 years. You two might get along very well.
Yeah. How do you think Ash maintains it? Magic. Who's got the magic? Harry Potter. Yeah, we talk all the time, Ash and I. Yeah, he's a cool individual. You know, he's got his thing, I got my thing. We're both saving the world, we're both doing different things. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. We gotta make some polyjuice potion. We got all the ingredients now. The only thing we need is a bit of the person that we're turning into. And we're trying to get into the Slytherin common room in order to get in thick with Draco Malfoy. I don't like him, but I gotta do it. So we're gonna try and turn into Crabbe and Goyle here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna duel them. And then trick them into taking our chocolate cakes, which has sleeping drafts in them. And then when they're asleep, we're just gonna pluck a hair out. Now, again, I'm Harry Potter, that's Ron Weasley. We could take these fools. This is for charity, we want to go fast, we're just gonna run away. We're just gonna let them have this one. We're gonna let them have this one. Luckily, they took down my friend Ron pretty fast. I hope he's okay. That looked brutal, but hopefully it worked out okay. Yeah, 0's on me because I'm untouchable. Yeah, see? Yeah. I wanted to go fast, but I couldn't let them have like a free turn on me because I'm Harry Potter. But I'll let them have this one. I'll let them have this one. Ooh, I have 1 hit point left. That's ridiculous. I have 1 hit point left. Oh, but there we go. Might as well just take an extra turn. Because I have to, like, yes, we're going to lose on purpose. I could have beat them, but I have to show how strong I am still. I stood up so many more turns than Ron. Anyways, we got our hairs. Time to go take this potion. Hopefully Hermione got her hair. Because she didn't come with us on this voyage, so I don't know who she's gonna turn into. Probably some other Slytherin, but yeah, we'll see in a second. Of course, any good potion is brewed in a toilet, so there it is. And let's go talk to Hermione and get some potion. Now, as you can see, I'm the storyteller here in this situation. There's not a lot of voices coming from this game. But you get to hear some excellent voice acting coming up here in just a moment. Some excellent sound effects, so listen carefully. Music to the ears. That's a real cat if I've ever heard one. Yeah, unfortunately, the hair Hermione got was not human. It was in fact a cat. So not too great. Not too great.
So you can say that Hermione is now a cat girl.
A cat girl, yes. Yeah, I definitely could say that. She wouldn't like it if I said that. I actually was able to just get that select glitch that I keep telling you folks about, and that's going to allow us to skip a cutscene with Snape that saves about 25 seconds, so that worked out. And we just press select in order to end the glitch, so we can then talk to Draco here and get into Slytherin's common room. Beautifully decorated, am I right? But weirdly, as much as I don't like Draco Malfoy, I don't think I've said it yet, he's not the heir of Slytherin. He keeps saying he's not, and he would have told his friends. Like, he would have told, because he's like that. He's not humble. I'm humble, and he's not humble. But it's not him, so we gotta figure out what's going on. But anyway, our potion's about to wear off, and we gotta get out of here. I'm not gonna sit looking like oil forever, so we're gonna go back up. We're gonna make sure Cat Hermione is okay. That's kind of rough. Hopefully we get to hear her meow some more, because it's beautifully executed. All right, here we go. Ah, beautiful. Chef's kiss. Oh, what's this? We find this weird diary that somebody tried to throw at Moaning Myrtle's head, and it's belonging to somebody named Tom Riddle. I'm not familiar, but I'm gonna check that out in a little bit. And hopefully, Cat Hermione is gonna be fine. And because we have the power of fast forwarding, she's perfectly fine, and it is now Valentine's Day. Lockhart looking like a skeleton again, but this time in pink robes, so at least it fits the theme. I'm gonna be honest with you, this part of the story, not much happens. It's Valentine's Day for no reason. It doesn't prove a specific plot point or anything, and we just have to endure it. You know, I'm 12. I don't care about love. But it's time for us to take a look at this diary, I think, because this diary seems suspicious, and it was just kind of left out in the open. And I want to hear about this Tom Riddle individual. So let's go back up to the privacy of the common room, though. So let's take our shortcut here from the dungeon to the 6th floor, because that's fastest.
Tom Riddle seems like a nice guy to me. I don't know about you, but
yeah,
seems like a fine lad.
Pretty normal name.
Yeah.
Pretty normal name. I mean, I don't really know anything about him. Hopefully, you know, we can read through his diary and it's just normal and nothing weird happens, and you know, just, you know, life's journey, you know. So we're gonna take a look at this. Take a look at this diary here. Ron's gonna let us do it with privacy, which I respect. And yeah, Tom Riddle's gonna take us back in time, and look, there he is with Headmaster Dippet instead of Dumbledore, because we're back in time. And he's just gonna take us through a little sequence here, a little cutscene here, where we find out, is that Hagrid? What was that thing that just went in the door? Did Hagrid open the Chamber of Secrets? And Tom Riddle stopped him? That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. Wow. We gotta talk to Hagrid about this. We got questions. But I got Quidditch. That's more important. Nothing is more important than Quidditch. So we gotta get down there. Just gotta go talk to my friends real quick, though. In a very slow, methodical way. Alright. Hermione's off to research something. She seems to have some kind of stroke of genius there. And we're gonna make a pit stop before we go to Quidditch and back in the shop just to get some extra potions. Just in case things get a little rough later. A couple extra healing items. I'm gonna take that same shortcut and then we're gonna go to Quidditch. And I think this time it's gonna be the fastest one yet. Last time was a little bit rough, you know, I got knocked around that bludger, you know, kind of took me off my feet, but I think this time for sure, we're gonna get it. Fastest ever. We're gonna break the record. You guys ever speedrun Quidditch before? This is all about speedrunning, right?
Well, to us muggles, Quidditch still seems like a bit of a an art phenomenon, if you catch my drift.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen clips in the Prophet of people in the States trying to play Quidditch, or non-magic folk trying to play Quidditch, and it's cute. You guys still have the brooms and you do all the same rules, but without the flying, which kind of takes away the danger of it. I don't really know why, but speaking of danger, Quidditch got canceled and I'm super bummed, and it's because my friend Hermione is paralyzed and now I'm extra bummed. So Quidditch is canceled and we're just gonna go back up to our common room and sulk a little bit, because this is ridiculous. You know, so many people are getting paralyzed and I keep getting into these little encounters. Luckily we've been able to run away from all of them. But yeah, we're gonna go up to the common room here and figure out what we can do, because we don't have Hermione anymore. She's the smart one. What are we gonna do? Well, look, me and Ron are gonna reconvene in the common room and figure this out together. Also, McGonagall told us to be in the common room because there is now a curfew. We have to go talk to her to check in, say, hey, we're here, we're not gonna sneak out, don't worry. So we're gonna sneak out. We're gonna grab our invisibility cloak and we're gonna go sneak down to Hagrid's because we gotta get some questions. So here's the cloak. Now, if you remember way back, I talked about starting up a little side adventure, right? With my friend Katie, who's in a hospital bed. She's looking for a storybook in order to cheer up. She told us that the storybook is on the table in the Gryffindor common room. Well, it wasn't. We looked. It wasn't there. But a nearby fellow tells us that, hey, I think I saw Ginny Weasley grab that book. So we're going to go on our way down to talk to Hagrid. We're just going to have a conversation with Ginny. And hopefully we can find her here soon. Oh, there she is. Perfect. Now, typically, there's an extra step to this little adventure where Ginny will only give us the book if we give her a picture of Harry Potter, in case you weren't familiar. The person who takes pictures, who is Colin Creevy, would gladly take Harry's picture. He's a big my picture, and he's a big fan. But unfortunately, he was paralyzed. So, in order to go a bit faster, we waited until after Colin was paralyzed, so we can just get the book from Ginny without having to do anything else. And now we have the book. Eventually we'll go and turn it in and finish that quest at some point. But now is not the time. We gotta talk to Hagrid and figure out what's going on. But we're interrupted. We're interrupted by Dumbledore and the Minister of Magic, Cornelius Fudge. Wild, absolutely crazy. What is he doing here? There, and, oh, jeez. Mr. Malfoy. I don't like Draco, and I don't like him either. But unfortunately, Hagrid is being taken to Azkaban because Hagrid is believed to be the one involved with all this mess. So he tells us to follow the spiders, which I don't know what that means. Oh, there's spiders on the ground. That's crazy. So we're going to follow the spiders. I don't think Hagrid would lead us into certain danger. And also, we're not going to follow the spiders exactly because it's a little bit slow. So we're going to follow them until we don't, because it's not, they don't take the most direct path. We'll just put it that way, where we want to go. I'm Harry Potter. I've been in the Forbidden Forest once, maybe twice, and I know where I'm going, okay? So spiders don't need to tell me where I'm going. I know where I'm going. Tried to skip around that encounter, but that's okay. We can just walk around it. We're gonna walk up here, dodge that, and I think something big's about to happen, so I'm just gonna save my game just in case. But, I mean, it's probably for nothing. Oh boy, that's a big spider. Okay, yeah, alright. That's crazy. That's an even bigger spider, though. And, this is Hagrid's creature, Aragog. Acromantula, giant tarantula, basically. And he's gonna eat us. He's gonna try to eat us, but we're gonna take him down. Now, this web attack here he does stuns us, and it always happens turn 1. We can't avoid it. Now, our hope is that he's gonna hit me, and then he's gonna hit Ron, and that is our fastest route. Fortunately, he hits me twice, which is fine. We do have a backup revive potion in case something like this happened. So it's not the end of the world, just a little bit slower. And we're going to skip Aragog's turn. Ron is going to cast a poison spell, and then I'm going to need just a little bit of quiet, a little bit of focus here. Alright. That probably looked a little confusing. Alright. So, Ron hits them with a poison spell. That mucus ad nauseum I was telling you about earlier. And then Harry, again, does not want to get his hands dirty, uses that flee option, and we get to use that enemy attack skip function that I was telling you folks about before. There's something a little bit different, however, that happens when you use the mucus ad nauseum spell and then do the enemy attack skip glitch. And that is, whenever you press A, and if you can do it in a rhythmic fashion of 3 A presses in between turns, we will see the poison damage pop up, and then it kind of functions as if everyone's turns got skipped, and it skips right back to the poisoning. So what we did is we chained together several turn skips in a row in order for the poison damage to continue to cycle. That way, Aragog, which is a fight that is usually very difficult to do casually, is done very quickly. I know that was a lot of magic terms, but hopefully you kind of stayed with me there. But we found out Hagrid didn't open the Chamber of Secrets all those years ago, so who did, right? We gotta go talk to Moaning Myrtle. We have to. She must know something, because she was in that bathroom. That's where the spiders were before. It's all connecting, and who better to talk about something that happened 50 years ago than a ghost that was around from that time. However, McGonagall catches us outside after hours. Why we weren't using our invisibility cloak, I have no idea. But luckily, she thinks we were here to visit Hermione, so it's all good. We should have visited Hermione anyway. That wasn't very nice. Now you'll notice that bed below was where my friend Katie was, and she's not there anymore. That's a problem, because I still have to give Katie her book, now that I have it. And might as well do it while we're here. But luckily, if I just open and close my menu, there she is again. And now, as a reward for turning in her book, she gives us a spell called Petrificus Totalis. Very fancy spell, causes paralyzation, which is going to be important for just this next fight. Which we're going to save for, just in case things go a little bit hairy. Now, we come to Lockhart for help. Lockhart is a coward. He's an absolute coward, and he attacks us, which is ridiculous. So we're going to use one of Ron's special powers, which is to use Scabbers, and using that Ratnip function, it actually stuns Lockhart for 1 turn, while Harry poisons him. Now, hopefully, Ron is going to paralyze it and not get backfired, which it didn't, which is good. And now, we're going to flee, and I need to focus. Yes. Alright, we got that in one long chain, which is the hardest thing to do. We're basically performing, I think it's 37 tricks in a row. And it's not quite frame perfect, but it's close to frame perfect. And what makes that fight a little extra dangerous is that Lockhart has the ability to heal off the poison that we just caused. And if he heals off the poison, 1, we have to reset that whole thing up again, which we don't have the magic power to do. And 2, he can easily kill us before we are able to do it, because it takes 2 turns to do. So getting that in one shot is very important, and I'm very glad that that happened. But now we got Lockhart. He's gonna come help us in the Chamber of Secrets, which Moaning Myrtle tells us that she died in this bathroom 50 years ago from some kind of big yellow eyes that came out of this sink. So we find that there's a little serpent on there, and voila, the Chamber of Secrets. Now, spoiler alert, we're coming very close to the end of our story here. We actually only have one more fight to do, and it's the most important one. Time is not going to be at the end of the fight, it's going to be at the end of our last input here, but the last fight has a lot going on, so I'm going to start explaining it now. The basilisk, the creature that we've been hunting this whole time, big yellow eyes, usually kills anything that it sees. However, everyone was lucky enough to avoid staring at it directly in the eye. Hitting this encounter is very bad, actually. Hopefully we don't take a lot of damage. Wow, perfect, great. That's really good. Yes, so it kills anything it stares at, but luckily none of them looked it directly in the eye. Our Mrs. Norris saw it in the reflection of the water. Friend Colin Creevy saw it through the lens of his camera. Justin saw it through nearly headless Nick. Nick took the full brunt, but he's a ghost. He can't die again. And Hermione saw it using a mirror that she had looking around corners. All right, we can. Now, we're gonna do some things in this fight. I told you all about card combos. The main card combo we're gonna use is called the weak point card combo. And basically, that's going to heavily increase the damage output that we can do against one foe. Obviously, we've been saving it for this very thing. And the other thing that happens during this sequence is, you know, all these fancy spells I've been casting, I made the phone levitate, and all these spells I've been casting against creatures, we can't use any of that because we're going to use a sword instead, which I'm a 12-year-old and fighting a giant snake with a sword doesn't sound great. But we're also going to get some help from our friend Fox the Phoenix that we met earlier. So we're going to be fighting this purple basilisk alongside our friend Fox the Phoenix. And we're going to use that weak point card combo as soon as we can. Usually Fox would do somewhere around 20 damage if he hits, but he will do somewhere close to 100 damage. And we're going to hope that Fox stays up as much as we can. Now, because the basilisk attacked me first, I can't use my card combo just yet because if I got hit on the second turn, I would die. That is fine that he poisoned Fox. Now we can use our weak point card combo. You saw Fox only did 20 damage that first turn. Now we're going to send the boulders crashing on it, and a lot more damage is going to be done. Hopefully Fox stays around to do most of it, because again, I'm Harry Potter. I don't like to get my hands dirty. Yeah, see, I don't even like using the sword. 0 damage. Now, Fox can do anywhere between 90 and 101 damage with that. Now, I got poison there, so I'm going to heal that off so I don't take damage. And actually, I'm going to use a second card combo here, which is Healing Balm. Now, that allows us to gain 10 hit points per turn. And obviously, as you can see, I am poisoned and Fox is poisoned. So, and this is the only way we can heal Fox. We can't use a potion on Fox. So instead of taking 20 damage every turn, now Fox is healed of that poison and will be gaining 10 hit points per turn. We don't always use it during this fight, but when circumstances arise like that, it's sometimes helpful. Hey, we actually hit with the sword, which is pretty good. We want Fox to stay alive as much as possible because a Fox crit is very rare. That's really good. That helped us out a lot. Come on, Fox. Bring us home. Yeah. Not a bad fight at all. So that is the basilisk down. I'm Harry Potter. I saved the day again. Tom Riddle, who is evil, who is Voldemort, by the way. Didn't really get a chance to explain that because I was telling you all about how I'm going to kill the basilisk.
What?
Tom Riddle is Yeah.
What? I thought he was such a nice guy. Oh, man. I already looked him up on Facebook. I thought he was such a nice guy. Oh, no, he disappeared as well.
Yeah,
Man.
He's gone. He turned out he was a spirit living inside the diary. So we take that diary down, and one thing that's different, usually you would see that Harry kills it with the Basilisk Fang. In this game, he kills it with the sword for some reason, but it still achieves the same result. And just for the record, time is going to be coming up very soon. We just have to mash through these cutscenes, and right when we're about to see our credit sequence roll, I'm gonna say time, so just get ready on that. Basically, Lockhart's whose memory charm backfired on him in the Chamber of Secrets, doesn't remember who he is. We're awarded special services to the school because I saved the day again, of course, but Harry and Hermione helped. And we only have one last thing to wrap up, which is Mr. Malfoy, and that's Dobby? Dobby's with Mr. Malfoy? That's crazy. But Dobby, as it turns out, is Mr. Malfoy's house elf. And we can't have that. So, you know what? Mr. Malfoy, take your book back. He doesn't want this, so he throws it to Dobby. Dobby finds a sock in there, cleverly placed by me. Now Dobby's a free elf. Malfoy is mad. And time. That is the story of how the boy who lived yet again and defeated Voldemort, not for the first time, for the second time, technically the third time if you count the time I was a baby, but I don't really remember that. Anyways, thank you guys so much for checking out the my second story here. I just wanted to give a couple of shout-outs. Shout-outs to BSG and ESA for hosting and putting on such an excellent show with excellent runners and excellent staff. Everyone is so kind here. I couldn't be happier to be a part of something like this. Thank you to the Harry Potter handheld speedrunning community, who has been very helpful in me learning these games, and I've become, it's so close-knit, it's kind of like a family there, so it's been very nice to be a part of them, and I encourage you to join as well if you're interested in running any Harry Potter handheld game. Definitely check us out on our speedrun.com page. speedrun.com/hp1gbc/hp2gbc, any of them, you'll find a link to the Discord there, or you feel free to message me on Discord or Twitch or anything like that at Konception2 on both. I'll be happy to provide you guys with some resources in order to tell my stories the way they're meant to be told, which is as fast as possible. So thank you so much again. Were there any last minute donations or anything like that you guys wanted to bring forth?
I do not have any donations, but I can of course plug some things if you want.
Please.
All right, let me grab my cheat sheet real quick. Which is the fun one? If you are from the UK and you would like to attend an event similar to BSG once the entire COVID crisis is over, there is UKSG, which is our sister organization. It is a speedrunning event in Glasgow, that is 4 times a year, and which supports young minds.
Yes, of course. I definitely encourage anyone to submit for that. I'm Harry Potter. I'm from the UK as well. Couldn't encourage that anymore. Absolutely. Well, thank you, folks, and please stay tuned for the next run. I believe it's Fury. My friend ATN is going to be running that as well, and it's definitely a fun run. Definitely should be checking that out.
The next run is Fury is coming up, but we don't have it just yet. First, we have an trial of I can't even pronounce that. Ibn Battuta. Yeah, right. Just imagine I pronounced it right.
That's a solid effort.
A for effort. But that's first. After that, we're gonna get Fury. But first,
absolutely. Well, thank you.
Like I said, unearthed by. What's it with these names, guys? You guys are bullying me. Hypnotic Streams.
All right, terrific. Well, thank you, folks, for having me, Harry Potter, on, and I'm going to cast a spell in order to get us over into intermission, I think, if that's okay with you folks. So I'm just going to focus on that.